So grateful to have you, my friends, visiting from Santa Fe. We're occupying, and we've got friends occupying all over the planet. Can I ask you to introduce yourselves, and may I ask what brought you to Taos today?
Hi, I'm Linda Hibbs, and we came up here yesterday because we wanted to have a break from our occupation here in Santa Fe. We've been working very hard for the last number of weeks.
I'm Elliot Skinner. I track around with Linda for over 50 years.
It's so important to us that you don't burn out. We love you. We're thankful that you came here for a little reprieve. So I didn't mean to put this on you, but tell me about what you've been doing in Santa Fe over the past couple of weeks.
Want to speak about that?
Well, it's been very, very intense. The Occupy started in Santa Fe. I don't have the date, but it was not too long after the New York, September 17th. And we've been attending most of the General Assembly meetings. We're part of the working group on facilitation.
I think my first assembly meeting was when we were still at the corner of St. Francis Drive in Paseo, across from the Bank of America. And we had a big white tent at that time. And so we went to our first assembly meeting, and it went quite well. Mark Jacobs is one of the people that's kind of principal. From the start, he went to New York City right away, right after the occupation began there, and came back. And he was running the meeting that night. And about a day later, that encampment had to be taken apart because it was a private property, and the person who owned it said we had to move on. So then our meetings were held sort of in various locations around town. But the topic of where we were going to have an occupied site really became very urgent. So there was a team of about 3 people who went out to look across the town and see what was available. And they came up with basically 3 sites. And it wasn't at all very clear. In fact, that meeting where they presented their experience of looking around and making a lot of phone calls was a little bit tense, a little bit chaotic. So we had to make a decision the next night. When we came back together, it was very good because there had been a visit to the mayor's office, and he was very supportive of one of those 3 sites, which turned out to be the Rail Yard Park.
And the reason that the Rail Yard Park, one of the reasons it was attractive to us, not only its location, because it's visible not only from major streets, but from the railroad track, the rail runner that goes right above it.
Highly visible.
And so that many trains pass each day so people can see the whole camp. Bill McKibben visited last week to Santa Fe, and he went by the occupation camp. And fortunately, a full moon was rising in the east over the Sangres. And he said that he gave a talk later at the Lenzik, and he said that it was the most beautiful occupation camp that he had seen. And
You're
so,
among the most beautiful occupation campers that I've seen. Just quickly, as we wrap this up, I'll invite you back as often as you like. But can I ask you to put out a word to young and emerging occupiers? And can I ask you to put out a word to your peer group, your people from your generation who might need to hear from you right now?
Certainly, in terms of, oh, I see right now on the cast as you're presenting it to us. Well, I would just say that this is a process that is organic, it's unfolding, and we have to go step by step and realize that it takes a great deal of patience to go through assembly meetings. We have them 3 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6, and then our working groups are at other times. And yet I believe strongly that if we are able to communicate as we do in those assemblies, and also find a process where we can do perhaps a kind of conversation where we can be off topic, where we have no agenda. I think that's very important in terms of how we can exercise the kind of imagination that we need to keep this movement going forward.
it's very good. I would say to our age peers, that we also have to have patience. I think what we find is in Santa Fe is incredible excitement among people that we've worked with for decades now on anti-nuclear issues and all kinds of issues, because we have been small groups, and generally our work has been attended by older people, as one might say, and very few young people. I think young people did for a period get involved in the Green Party in Santa Fe, but basically they have not been involved. And this new phenomenon that's swept the world really incorporates all ages, and I think that there's a sense of people our age that we've experienced in our General Assemblies, which have 35 or 40 people to 60, 65 people, is that there's on the part of the older people, there's no sense of we know the way to do things. In fact, I think there's a great sense of humility, because we've tried for decades with very little success. I think what we've been involved in for 20, 30 years is what I call damage control, just trying to, reduce the damage through the whole.
We're taking this a step beyond triage into
Exactly.
the restoration. Tikkun olam. That means to restore the earth. And thank you for doing your parts.
Okay.
And come back soon, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.